Okay guys, we're working with systems of equations today. So we're going to take both lines. We have to change the equation to be into slope-intercept form. Remember that when we're doing slope-intercept form, that means the y equals mx plus b. That's the form that we're going for. So we're going to go through some of these problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work completely number 1, get you started on number 2, completely work number 3, get you started on number 4. So let's go ahead and look at the equations for number 1. So number 1, we have 2 equations. Now neither one are in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to go off to the side so that I have some room to work and be able to make this the way that it needs to be. So I need to get y by itself. So the opposite of positive 4x is minus 4x. So I'm going to also minus 4x on the other side. Anything I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So 4x minus 4x is 0. That leaves me with negative y equals, and I'm going to go ahead and flip the order with my negative 1 and negative 4x because I want to get it to my slope-intercept form. So I'm going to put negative 4x minus 1. Just flip-flopping the order. Now, my y is still not by itself. Remember that there's this coefficient right here that's really negative 1y. So I'm going to divide by negative 1, and then over here I'm going to divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. So that's going to leave me with y equals positive 4x plus 1. So that's my first equation that I have. Now I'm ready to start graphing this equation. So just like we've been doing before, I need to know my m and I need to know my b. M is 4. That's my slope. B is 1. That's my y-intercept. So putting it on the graph. B is a positive 1. And I know that 4 equals 4 over 1. So up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. And I'm going to repeat that pattern. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. Can also go the opposite because a negative over a negative is the same, it equals a positive. So down 4, left 1. Down 4, left 1. Now I'm ready to put my line. Okay, so first equation, all done. Now second equation, just so that I have some space, working right here. So I want to get y by itself. So I've got to do the opposite. Plus x plus x. So that's going to zero out and leave me with y equals. I'm going to flip-flop my order just so that I can get it in the standard slope-intercept form. Now I'm ready to graph it. Okay? So we have this equation, y equals x plus 4. Now, looking at that equation, what is my m? Well, I know that there's really a 1 right there. So, what's my slope? It is 1, which equals 1 over 1. That should be an equal sign. Okay? What's my b? My b is 4. So, begin with b. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then move with m. Up 1 over 1. Up 1 over 1, repeating my pattern until I can make my line. Oops, not sure what happened right there, getting off track. Okay, connect them. Okay, now with systems of equations, the answer to our systems of equation is where the lines cross, okay, at their intersection. So in this case, that is that point right there. So we need to find out what that point is. So x goes I want something other than blue. So it goes over 1. So that right there, that is a 1. And then counting up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this right here is a 5. So x is 1, 5. So that is our first systems of equation. That is the answer. Remember that the first point, part of the point is always x. The second is always y. Okay? I'm going to pause just for a second, and then we'll move over to number 2. Okay, looking at number 2, we're going to take our equations and change them into slope-intercept form. So again, I've come over just to be able to have some room. So we've got to get y by itself. So I'm going to minus 3x. I'm going to minus 3x. Okay, notice I put the 3x over beside the 3 because I cannot combine the 3 and then minus 3x. They are not like terms. Okay. So these zero out, and that leaves me with negative y equals, I'm going to flip-flop these two. I want these two to change order. So I'm going to go negative 3x plus 3. My y is still not by itself. Divide by negative 1, and then I've got to do that on the other side. So now I have y equals 3x minus 3. So that's our equation right here. Okay, so you're going to find what your B is, what your M is, and you're going to graph that line. Now, our second equation, okay, right over here, you need to get y by itself. So we've got a minus x. So that's going to zero out. That leaves me with y equals, I'm going to change my order right here. So I'm going to have negative x plus 5. You're going to figure out what is your M, what is your B, and you're going to graph it. Okay, number 3, I'm going to completely work this one. So number 3 first, starting out with our first equation. Just went over here so I could have some room. So changing that equation into slope-intercept form. So I need to get y by itself. So minus x. That leaves me with negative y equals, I want to change the order. So my negative x plus 5. Okay, y is still not by itself, so I'm going to divide by negative 1. And then I have to also do that to everything on the right side. That leaves me with y equals, negative divided by negative is a positive, and a positive divided by a negative is going to give me a negative. So that will be minus 5. So our first equation, y equals x minus 5. Now, what is our M? Well, our M, our slope, it's right there. We just can't see it. So M is 1. Our y-intercept is negative 5. So we begin with the y-intercept. Negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move with M. Up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1. Keep on repeating the pattern. I like to repeat it as far as I can go. Since I don't have a ruler, it makes it easier to draw my line straight. Okay, first line done. Now we've got to do the second one and see where it is going to cross. So, changing it into slope-intercept form. Minus 2x, minus 2x. So, we have y equals, I'm going to change my order right here. So, negative 2x plus 4. Okay, now it's done. Easy peasy. Y equals negative 2x plus 4. Now, our M and our B. Our slope is negative 2. Our y-intercept is 4. So, begin with B. So, our y-axis at 4. And then our slope, negative 2. Which remember, when we're thinking about slope, we need to have our rise over run. So, I've got to know that that means going down, down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Oh, found our spot. Okay, but I'm going to keep repeating my pattern. I'm going to go up 2, left 1. Okay. Now, our place where it crosses, that's our answer. This right here. So we've got to figure out this point. What is the coordinate of that? If I could draw a straighter line, that purple line would go straight through it. So our x coordinate, okay, we have 1, 2, 3. So our x is 3, and our y is -1, -2. So it is -2. Okay, so our answer is 3, -2. Okay, I'm going to pause just a moment to get you started on. Okay, looking at our equations for number 4, getting them in the slope-intercept form. Okay, looking at our first equation, wow, that one's easy. It's already in slope-intercept form. Because remember, slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. It's already there. So I don't have to do anything to that equation. It's good. Okay? But what I can go ahead and do is graph it. So I need to find my m, I need to find my b. M is 2, b is 10. So our y-intercept, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then, okay, I'm all the way at the top of the graph, okay? Well, if I don't have anywhere to go up, so I know that this 2 is the same thing as 2 over 1, okay? I know that 2 over 1 is the same thing as -2 over -1. So really what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go down 2, left 1. Oh, I said left 1, but I went right 1. Let's try that again. Down 2, left 1. 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 Keep on repeating the pattern. Okay, now looking at the second equation, need to change it into y-intercept form. It is not there. Oh, I said I was not going to finish this one out. I was just going to get you started. Okay, so freebie on that equation. Let's get this next one in slope-intercept form, and then you can finish it up. Okay, so we've got to get our y by itself. So I've got a minus 3x, and then I don't have any room. So right there, I'm going to minus 3x, okay? Those are going to zero out. That leaves me with y equals, okay? I'm going to do that extra step, -10 minus 3x, okay? I want to switch my order. I want them in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to go y equals -3x minus 10. Now, you're going to find what your m is. You're going to find your b. You're going to graph it, and wherever those lines cross, that is your answer.